Receive money from anywhere in the world. Western Union now available at Ceylon Bank.
Chilling with Russell. What's up? Welcome to another episode of The Rundown. And this is Chilling with Russell. And once again, we have a super show lined up. Of course, yesterday the game didn't happen due to various reasons, and we'll discuss that. But before anything, I'd like to remind you that we have an amazingly important guest today. He goes by the name of Murali Karthik. And he's from India. He's played a bit of cricket with Russell. Given Russell a hard time, Russell has given him a hard time, and now they're in the commentary box giving each other a hard time as well. But before that, let's bring Russell in and see what he has to say. So before further ado, let me introduce to you the chill pill, the man with the plan, the one who can, and the one who knows what happened yesterday. Aiboeva.
Hi. What happened yesterday? Jesus.
What happened? And Janit Viduranga says, Ad India හොඳම නවයක් නැහැ කියලා.
ගොඩාක් අමාරු කාලයක් කියන්නේ දැන් ඊයේ මැච් එකට යන්න ලෑස්ති වෙන එක තමයි මේ දවස් ටිකේම හයිලයිට් එකට තිබ්බේ. ලෑස්ති වෙන්න යනකොට තමයි අපිට මෙසේජ් එක ආවේ අද මැච් එක වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා.
අයියෝ.
ආයි ගෑස් ගියා. ඕගාලා කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඉතින් මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්න ඇති වෙනවා. හැබැයි අපි ගොඩක් මේ මෙන්ෂන් කරන්න ඕන මේක මැනේජ් කරන එක ලේසි නෑ. මේ බබල්ස් මැනේජ් කරන එක ඒකම දැන් ආරංචි විදියට ඔක්කොගෙම PCR clear. දැනට තියෙන විදියට අද මැච් අදයි හෙටයි මැච් එක වෙයි කියන එක. ඉතින් දැන් අපි ආයේ එක්සයිට් වෙලා ඉන්නේ. දැන් හැම වෙලේම ගෑස් එනවා යනවා කියනවා අපි. ඉතින් අපිත් එක්ක මේ අපේ යාළුවා මුරලි කාර්තික් being in company with guys like that has also been very good at hard times like this, trying to keep everyone's mentality up, because there's no lifestyle and it's all about trying to pump yourself up and look forward to things, and cricket is something that keeps us going. In the meantime, the dialogue view app, my god, it's doing wonders for us. It helps us stay up to date with sport and keep us not only sport, movies and entertainment as well. The dialogue view app එක තිබුණ නැත්තම් මොනවා කරයිද දන්නේ අපේ entertainment එකට මෙතන ඉන්නකොට.
ඇත්තමයි you need to mention that because I'm on the move right most of the time. We think මම නම් බලන්නේ match එක dialogue view app එකෙන්. It's very helpful and it's really great. Now some of the people are sending some comments. Some are asking if you have any idea if Charit Aslanka is going to be available today. And so on and so forth. අපි ඒවට එමු. But before that, Russell මීට දවස් ගානකට කලින් ඇහුවා ප්‍රශ්නයක්. Chilling with Russell සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. වීඩියෝස් ටිකක් එනවා. වීඩියෝස් ටිකක් යවන්න අපිට හොඳම 10 දෙනාට Chilling with Russell ගෙන් අමුතුම තෑග්ගක් ලැබෙන්න තියෙනවා. හරිද? යාව හම්බෙන්න අවස්ථාවක් ලැබෙයි ඔයගලන්ට. දඩ බඩ ගාලා යවන්න වීඩියෝස් ටික man යන්න කලින්. Now before all of that, I now like to bring on
தமிழ்ல அனுப்புங்க. சில்லிங் வித் ரசல் எப்படி சொல்றதுன்னு. ஆனா வீடியோஸ் அனுப்புங்க. வேர்டிங் இல்லாட்டி டெக்ஸ்ட் அனுப்பி வேலையில வீடியோஸ் அனுப்புங்க. How do you say it? இங்கிலீஷ்ல எப்படி சொல்றது ஷியாம்?
Chilling with Russell. சத்தம் பண்ண இல்லாத. Yeah. எப்படி. It's like this. Let's get Karthik and before going through.
It's almost lunchtime.
Okay, I'll sort him out. One sec. Chilling with Russell. Varavekko manboda unbodal whatever, I don't know.
Ayubovan.
Mr.
Guppy is here. Mr. Guppy
is here.
See, no. Karthik also bought in, giving me a hard time, but it's
I've always been giving you a hard time.
It's always good though, but because that's the type of camaraderie and banter we need.
Correct.
Nowadays, when we look around Karthik, we see with not only with the situation, which is a weight on a lot of people's heads, the sense of humor in life, the lightheartedness, the lighter side, which is actually healthy for us. We don't see much, which adds a lot more. But with guys like this, he's of course got his own weight. He's got his hat, his sunglasses, all that on all the time. A bit of a fashion bug, but love the company. I must say that, and it was great for you to have been with us for the last so many weeks. To not only for the cricket, of course, it's not gone to plan. We would have liked to see more cricket as well, but all in all, it's been great when you consider everything that's been around, and hope you have enjoyed your time here as well.
I've always enjoyed my time in Sri Lanka. Every time I come here, I keep telling people back in India, I said, everybody rushes to Goa and other places. I think the best place to come to is Sri Lanka. It's just beautiful. The food is outstanding for people who are foodies and non-vegetarians. Obviously, the beach and the quality of the water everywhere down south is even better. And even if you want to go to the hills, places like Kandy, Nuwara, so much here. And the best thing which I always tell people is so much cheaper than India. So every reason to come to beautiful Sri Lanka. And again, obviously, when as Indians, when we come here, the warmth which we receive from the Sri Lankans is just outstanding. It's like the friendliest neighbors you can ever think of. When people talk about, I think Russ, you live in Australia now. When people talk about the New Zealanders, they say they are the sweetest people. It's like that for us. When we come to Sri Lanka, wonderful people.
Last time you were here, I remember in Kandy, you guys did go off way into the hills. I think you visited some factories as well, right?
Yeah, correct. So we went to the Noritake factory. We also went to Nuwara because obviously Sita Ma's temple is there. And then we had Vivek Razdan as well and family. So my wife was here. So we all did that. We went to quite a few places, to be very honest. It was a wonderful drive. And funnily, when we went there, it was so chilly. I could never imagine Sri Lanka to be chilly. And also for us, Russ, when we came on earlier tours, at that point of time, those were troubled times in Sri Lanka. So we used to only stay put in Colombo, play the games in Colombo. But now that Sri Lanka has opened up, everything is normal. And now as commentators, when we come, we've got the luxury and the freedom to move about and also to go everywhere, which has been outstanding for every one of us. Just to explore the country is one of the things which you want to do. And that is something which we've been able to do.
What are you waiting for?
I didn't want to be rude. I need to now run and go back to doing my Batman stuff. But before that, we have two others in the waiting room. We have Farvez Maroof in the gym doing something. I have no idea what it looks like. He's trying to do something, but whatever. I also have Azam Amin, who's who's going to join the conversation and navigate you all a little bit. Ana munnukala pomudal Karthik, நமக்கு சொல்லுங்க இன்றைக்கு Indian playing 11 என்ன மாதிரியா இருக்குமோ? Are we going to have the same players and are we playing back-to-back games? I'm going to leave that question and move out. Answer it once I finish.
It'll be interesting, isn't it, Russ?
Chilling with Russell.
I'm saying it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Arey, Rufi.
Yeah, Mama.
Are you just showing off or what are you trying to do?
Rafael Varane, Jadon Sancho, Manchester United.
No,
You got
that's fine.
Sancho is in the gym. Our
Who's
Hawkeye.
Sancho? Okay.
Denujan.
Oh, Denujan.
Hawk. Dinujan is our Hawkman who gets us all
Hawkman.
When we are not happy with the LBW, we sledge him only. Dinujan தான் அதுக்கு ரெஸ்பான்சிபிளா இருப்பார். அம்பயர்ஸும் பாப்பார், என்ன இது ஹாக் என்ன செஞ்சாங்க மா விளங்குதா நான் சொல்றது?
Mama, you asked me what I'm doing. I'm earning my lunch. Burning some calories.
Okay.
I'm earning my lunch.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm not privileged to be chilling like you guys. You are legends. I'm still a small man, earning my lunch. Work hard, burn those little calories what I have. Hey.
Karthik, before you answer the question, that Sham left us with, you have shared the dressing room with some of our guys, right? I think Maha is one of them. Murali.
Yeah, Murali Anna, yes. Mahela, no. Mahela, I've shared the com box with. I've played golf with Mahela. Obviously, bowled a lot to him. But only with Murali Anna, I've shared the dressing room because we played for RCB together.
Tell us some experiences. Our fans would like to know.
I think
How
Murali
these
Anna
guys.
is the coolest man I seriously feel for somebody who's an absolute legend of the sport. And I'm going through different decades and what he has achieved. One of the humblest human beings you can ever think of. He's the same with not just because he knows you, but he's the same with everyone, which is a tough act to follow. And also the way he has been around bowlers. And I'm not talking about test bowlers. The way he encourages people and the way he speaks so highly of everyone. I think it's not something which you, what should I say, you fabricate. That is something which is very natural to him. And just the way, I think he's a absolute encyclopedia of the game. Sometimes all the homework which we all do as commentators, he has already done because he knows each and every first class player in each and every country, which is such a difficult thing to know. To be very honest, he knows their records, he knows their stats. It's just amazing, and he's also obviously seen them. So it's just outstanding what he has been. And obviously, when he talks about the game, that experience and being a champion bowler comes to the fore, and always smiling. That's
Does he say nice things about me as well? Because he's always giving me a very hard.
everybody is giving you a hard time. I don't know why, Russ.
What is this? So he in the dressing room, did he remember me?
No, I don't think we remembered you in the dressing room during the IPL.
So that's a good thing. That's why he's not sledging me. Otherwise,
But has he ever kept quiet for at least 5 minutes?
That's what I'm saying. That amount of exuberance and fun, you don't get it. You see, as a legend, he can just sit with his nose up or his feet up and just not talk. But he's so humble and he's so down to earth. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Goofy, are you just again trying to show off? Are you actually doing anything, or you're just talking to us and behaving as if you're gone to the gym?
Thoda show off, thoda gym.
Okay.
Little bit.
Correct. Konjam. Coming back, I think that since we are here, it'll be interesting what happens today. Is it confirmed that these two games are going to be back to back, which is today and tomorrow? Because the last T20 was slated for tomorrow anyways. That is one. And also, I've heard that quite a few of the Indian players like Prithvi Shaw, Ishan Kishan, Padikkal, Hardik Pandya, obviously, and Surya Kumar Yadav. These boys are...
And Rahul Chahar.
Okay, these guys are isolated. These guys are in isolation. So it'll be interesting.
Krunal has taken away from the Taj Samudra bubble to another quarantine center. The other guys are in the same hotel isolated. That includes non-player as well. I'm not too sure whether it's a coaching staff or medical staff, but somebody else as well. Maybe a buddy, I don't know. But the names what you said, I've heard Rahul Char there as well.
Okay.
So as of now, game is on because all have returned negative PCR tests.
Yeah.
That's what we're gathering. So we haven't heard anything different. Not sure whether India will play without these guys because there is a big squad anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're covered. It's just that if these guys are not allowed to play, I think they have enough players to play. I think 6 out of 20 odd. So I don't think that should be an issue. It'll still be interesting whom they play and how these guys not being there, some of the big players of the team not being there hampers India's chances. Because it just evens out everything, isn't it? It becomes everything comes on an even keel then. Because even in the last game, when we got 164, Sri Lanka wasn't with a chance for a long time. It's just that they made a mess of it after that. So I'm pretty sure that everything evens out over here if Surya, Prithvi, Hardik and Krunal and all those guys don't play.
But there is, I mean, maybe not international experience, but the fact that the other players have also played high intensity cricket at IPL levels, those also do count for a lot. And whether they can actually bring that to an international stage where the bigger players are not there, that is the
True.
only real question India have to answer, isn't it?
True,
Like,
absolutely.
say RCB, there's a Virat Kohli, Mumbai Indians, there's a Rohit Sharma, so you somehow know that they're going to perform. But now
Correct.
you have to do it all on your own. So that's an interesting question. And most of these players, well, can they? That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are, and that's one of the reasons why Indian cricket is in such good space or such a great space right now, because it's throwing up so many top players and so many players who are able to come in and actually perform well. So I think for sure, but it's just that obviously limited experience. International cricket is still a bit of pressure, isn't it? It's still going to test you in a different way mentally more than anything else. I understand franchise cricket, IPL is obviously it's tough and you're under a lot of pressure and scrutiny. But international cricket, once you want to play for your country, you want that you've set the ball rolling immediately, you've hit the ground running. So I think that is one thing which obviously tests you more than the cricket itself. It's the pressure which you have to counter and encounter, basically.
Just saw a question. Megan is asking a question of you, Karthik. Do you want to answer that about your spell in Mumbai against Australia in 2004? Is that a
It's an interesting
one?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, to be very honest, we had not won a single test match that year, Russ, and going in, and I still remember we had 93 to defend. Sorry, 103 to defend. And when we were walking out as the Indian team, when we were walking out, there was already music in the Australian team because they'd won the final frontier and they'd already won the series, and they knew the team they had, that 103 they would just coast it. And for me, I was a bit surprised that Rahul threw me the ball ahead of Anil. And it's just that I was surprised. To be very honest, I was very, very shocked that ahead of Anil Bhai, I was given the ball. It so happened that in my first over, I think I got Ricky and Michael Clark and Damien Martin. And sorry?
Bowling open பண்ணினீங்களா?
No. I didn't open the bowling. Zach opened the bowling, but it's just that I was brought one change ahead of Anil Bhai. Defending 103, you're going to give it to the greatest match winner India had. And that is Anil. But Rahul threw the ball to me. And I was just lucky that I guess got Ponting in the first over. Within those 2 overs, I had 3, which was Ponting, Martin, and Michael Clark. And Martin had an outstanding series. And I think before that, I got Hayden out or something like that. So it was one of those days where everything was happening at a rapid pace.
And you'd have to say that those 3 players you initially mentioned are probably very good players of spin in that Australian team. So you got the big ones.
Yeah, and also I got Haydos as well, so which was good. Haydos, and I had Gilly in the first innings.
Right.
So yeah, caught by Cafu at short leg.
So
even Haydos.
Would that be like your best spell, Karthik? I'm sure you wouldn't have had any games.
I actually thought that I bowled better. No, you can say because we were defending 103, so obviously it's a match-winning spell. But I felt that the game before in Nagpur, when it was an absolute green top, and how I bowled, and I had Gilly cotton bowled, I had Lanka caught somewhere, and then one of the best players of spin, Darren Lehman caught at slip of Rahul, had Shane Warne cotton bowled again. So I thought on that wicket, on a green top, the way I bowled I really enjoyed it.
On that note itself, who was your most challenging Sri Lankan batsman that you came across?
I would say Sangha.
Sangha, okay.
I would say Sangha is possibly the most challenging. The way he played and the amount of time he had, and I thought Sangha was the best. Sri Lankan batsmen I bowled to Mahela as well, who's an outstanding gun player. But somehow I felt that Sangha was the best. If you talk about the best, for me challenging, I would say Sangha.
Oh,
And I've only watched Aravinda from the sideline. So I've never bowled to Aravinda D'Souza. I'm pretty sure that if I had bowled to him, he wouldn't have needed pads and anything. He would have just played with the bat.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because from where I have been, I would have always thought that Mahela was the better player of spin, but it's great to know a bowler's point of view on how he was attacking these great players. Alkaf has an interesting question, which I think we should take now with the outbreak of COVID, like what happened yesterday. How would it affect the psychology of the players? Now, I can tell you, for us, we were up. That was our only excitement, living in a bubble, just getting ready and going for the match, something different, something exciting, but it was very deflating and dealing with that type of thing from our point of view. But when you're playing, how do you think, Karthik, they'll be looking at it? And leading into the one-day series, Rahul Dravid mentioned to me, 36 days they had been waiting for that day, the group of players. And on the third ODI, India had won the series. There are so many changes. Some of the players are new. Don't they need continuity? He said, yes, but we've been in bubbles for so long. We have to give someone something to look forward to, something to G themselves up. So it is quite challenging in that sense, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a different world we are living in, and everybody's away from families, and you're just pooped in a hotel room. I can imagine if you're at your own place or in your own homes, it's still okay because you've got your loved ones and everyone around. Yes, I'm not denying that as a cricket team, you're a family and you spend a lot of time on the road. And I think, Russ, you and me can safely say this now that our playing careers are over, that post our playing days, it's the banter and the camaraderie which we miss more than the game. It's that all that bonding, togetherness, having spent so much time in the barracks is what we miss. But when it's playing time, as these guys are going through, they want to be playing and they want to be out there. So I'm pretty sure. And also, what could be deflating is that one of them has got it, and also you're constantly thinking, I hope I have not come in contact and I hope I don't get it as well. So it's a tough one. It's not an easy one. You just and again, we have gone through so many RT-PCR tests, and every time an RT-PCR test happens, we are also hoping that nothing is wrong with us. I hope we are fine. So I'm pretty sure those are things which play in the minds of all these boys. And also, as I said, you don't want one of your own to get it, catch it, and see him suffer.
Yeah, and the rhythm of life changes every moment, and that is hard as well. Karthik, let's get on to what you have seen on this tour from Sri Lanka. But before that, one of our friends wants to join in and fire a few questions. Hope that's all right with you. Azam Amin, he's a well-respected journalist here in Sri Lanka. So let's get him on so that he can ask any questions he'd like as well on how your thoughts and what you see out on the field. Azam? There.
Chilling with Russell.
Good afternoon.
Hey, hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hopefully you have not allowed to move, so you have been in Golf Face Hotel, so maybe one of Sri Lanka's most enjoyable hotels. So,
Trust me, every time I've come here, I've only looked at it from afar. So this time for us to be staying in this heritage hotel, and for me to be getting a room where Napoleon III and Eugenia and all those people were spending, I think I'm feeling like one of the royalty, I guess.
because whenever India comes, Taj Hotel is like your booked place. So it's like
correct.
In Colombo, I think.
And also for us as commentators, it's always either the Galadari or the Cinnamon Grand or the Hilton. That's where we've stayed. So it's a refreshing change, and I've loved this hotel. It's just beautiful, so much expanse, and for us to be sitting on the beach every evening, it's been outstanding.
So first of all,
it's the sunsets, I must say, especially Hemant, our director. He gets his camera out and he's out there. Karthik. On the cricket you saw, we know Sri Lanka are fighting their way to get a team in order, get plans in order. What are the positives you've seen?
I
What
think
are the good things?
the positives which I've seen, and I'll tell you where I come from, Russ, and I've said this to you off air. Look, I have encountered a very, very strong Sri Lankan team, which every time I think about it, you just look at the likes of Dilshan, Marwan, Sangha, Mahela, Tilan Samaravira. There were so many guys, yourself included, Murli, Chaminda. So when you think of a small island nation producing so many world-class cricketers and such a wonderfully strong side, you have to think about what's gone wrong post that. Because at the end of the day, all of us take to the game because of our seniors and the inspirations which we have got. I got inspired by West Indies to take up the game. Russell, you might have been inspired by someone else to take up the game and to become the best player you could become. So when I look at Sri Lankan cricket, yes, the raw material is definitely there. You look at the likes of Avishka, certain, as you mentioned, certain technical stuff, he could be a world beater. You look at the likes of Kusal Mendes, all those guys are outstanding. Asalanka, the way he batted was so good. Your spinners are there. You've got so much experience in the terms of Murli Anna being there, Rangana Herath being there, so many people to help, the likes of Mahela Sangha to help people. But what has been sad for me is looking from outside in a small island nation, you can't have 30 or whatever number of first class teams you have. It's like pouring a little bit of coffee and pouring water over it. You're neither enjoying water, neither are you enjoying the coffee. So it just dilutes the quality, dilutes everything. I don't know. I don't understand the politics of it. I don't understand why that happened or why that got changed. But I definitely feel that to get Sri Lankan cricket back to the strength of the old days, you need to address all these things. And I feel that it's about who's going to take the team forward in terms of coaching as well. I'm not saying that somebody's a bad coach or a good coach. What I'm trying to understand is the modern day cricketers are very different. They look at things very differently from what the previous generations saw. So it's very important that to make them feel wanted. Do you give them a lot more continuity? Because there have been lots of changes in this team. There have been, I don't know how many captains have been changed, how many players have been changed in the last so many years. So you're constantly looking over your back. You're always going to think, oh, I'm going to be dropped. I'm not going to. So that feeling of being wanted, the feeling of being made special, or the logic behind getting somebody in a team, I think that doesn't hold true. So if these things can be, I think world cricket needs a very strong Sri Lankan team because the talent is there. It's not as if there is no talent. Some of the guys, the way they bat, it was so outstanding to watch. Dhananjay De Silva, the way he batted in England, some of the shots he played were like, wow, man, it's top draw stuff. So, and suddenly he comes back to Sri Lanka and he's not getting runs. So I don't know what happens behind the scenes, but I definitely feel that you can't dilute the cricket.
On that note, Sri Lanka cricket are working on it. Lots of plans are in place, and hopefully these things will be addressed. Everyone knows about it, and work is being done. Azam, you have
yes, there is this thinking in Sri Lanka at the moment that the coaching staff, especially, should be Sri Lankans. Not the foreign coaches. Like they have this problem of they're saying that someone like Ravi Shastri, the great Muralidharan suggested Roshan Mahanama should come in. The world cricket has changed. You don't see a lot of foreign coaches heading countries now. I mean, if you look at only Bangladesh and Sri Lanka has foreign coaches at the moment, like the head coach.
Look, this is something which I've been trying to understand, Assam, because I don't know the psyche of what people expect. See, there was a time in Asian countries, especially, this assumption, I can say, or presumption that, say, if Russell becomes the coach of Sri Lanka, he'll have his favorites, so he's only going to pick his favorites. So you always got an outstation or a foreign coach that he's got no baggage. He's going to come and look at everything as a plain canvas and draw on it. But I suppose it's not the case. I always have felt this, that if you pick a man who's got no agenda in life, who knows that his heart bleeds for Sri Lankan cricket, his heart bleeds for Pakistan cricket, his heart bleeds for Indian cricket or Bangladesh cricket. I'm talking about the Asian countries. I don't think that's a psyche which you need to look at. That then you should be getting foreign selectors as well, isn't it? Then if that is the scenario, then even foreign selectors should come in. That they are not going to have any favoritism, no nepotism, nothing like that. So I don't know. This is something which I've also wondered about. Like somebody like a Chaminda is there. Chaminda Vas is one of the greats of Sri Lankan cricket. Why isn't he in a senior role? Why is he only a bowling coach? Or for that matter, you have such wonderful people here. There are so many wonderful cricketers which Sri Lanka cricket has produced. But again, that is a psyche which players need to understand, or players need to answer whom they want. I don't think there is any shortage of cricketers from any country. If Pakistan wants a Pakistan coach, like we have got Ravi Bhai, we had Anil Bhai before that. And even right now, we've got Rahul, who has done such a great service for everyone. So it's not as if their heart bleeds for the country. So they obviously are going to do a great job. So I suppose you need to earmark the people who are there, and I don't think there should be anything wrong with it. If Marwan can, why not? He knows the people, he knows the language. And I also feel that so many of these kids, do they understand a foreign coach? Like
I think
the other day,
we have,
yeah, the other day when who was the man of the match? When he came in with the Avishka. When he came in with a translator, imagine us who speak the language. There are times when we don't understand many words of the accent or whatever. So I don't know. I suppose you can always have arguments, pros and cons, but I definitely feel that if there is somebody who's got no agenda and who's the right man, he should do it.
Because India has now, I think, for the last 7-8 years, have not picked a foreign coach like the head coach. Is that kind of a policy, or?
I don't think it's a policy. It's just that I suppose we have those kind of people here, isn't it? Even in the IPL also, there have been talks that we should have lots of Indian coaches and all of that. It's about, Ravi Bhai was in commentary. As soon as he became interested with coaching, and Anil Bhai, and they all do so many different things. So for them to be interested about coaching, so it's a good thing, isn't it? It's a good thing for Indian cricket. Because that experience you're not going to buy anywhere.
One other question: how do you see Praveen Jayavikram? Left arm spinner. So you might because there is a belief. I mean, even in the journalism part from sports journalists, that he should not play ODI cricket, T20 cricket. He should be our test focused man. So.
Look, I definitely saw some wonderful things the other day, because Sanju Samson is a wonderful player of spin, and he plays left arm spin very nicely. So just the way he had him on a leash and the way he got him out, I think that was outstanding. That showed me that maybe Jayavikram might not be the old school orthodox left arm spinner who's going to have that kind of a classical action. No, but he's a street smart cricketer who thinks about the batsman, who thinks about the game. He's got subtle changes of pace, subtle changes of trajectory, and then spins it enough. He doesn't spin it big, but he spins it enough. I think rather than beating the bat, he spins it enough to find or create doubts in a batsman's mind. And the way he bowled to India and some of the better batsmen of spin, he was outstanding. So that way, I think he should be allowed to prosper, and people should be there to help him out. With regards to whether he's a test match bowler and we should be kept that way, I don't think so. That's actually the right thing, because there are certain bowlers who are like that, and there are certain bowlers who are smart enough. And I feel that Praveen Jayavikram, for whatever I've seen from those few games, the way he came back strongly. Yes, he went for a few, but the way he came back strongly tells me that this kid is somebody who can adapt to all formats. It's just that he should be given a run, and he should be taken care by the management and the captain. I think he can bowl in all formats.
Your thoughts, Karthik, on other players who have been outstanding for Sri Lanka and who think are the players going forward? Chamira for sure. What have you liked of Karuna Ratna? And I guess Hasaranga, I think that's the bowling department, isn't it? That excites us now that we have a lot of confidence in what Jayavikram can bring as well.
Absolutely. And I think somebody like an Akhila Dhananjay, I think it's sad to see that he has not from what he did against India in 2017. And when we came here, it's surprising that he was not playing for 2 years for whatever reason. And you rightly said, Vanindu Hasaranga is a competitor. He's a feisty customer who's there for a fight. You can see that he bowls the tough overs. He's been entrusted with those tough overs, which is a good thing. Sometimes you see those characters in the side who are wanting to get into that kind of a battle. And I definitely feel that from those angles, it's definitely good. Possibly more seamers needed, or a big bench of seamers needed around Dushmanta Chamira. I don't know if Sri Lanka has that or steady reserve of fast bowlers coming through. Definitely spin, Anindu, Jaya Vikrama, Dhananjaya. You've got all these guys who are doing well. What the other? I don't know how Angelo Matthews is going to be, because he's such a linchpin for Sri Lankan cricket. He's one of the top batsmen. How long is he going to continue? Chandimal, how's he going? Is he still your captain going forwards after the England tour and the other tours? So definitely there are a lot of wonderful players. It's just that how are you going to keep them together and how are you going to make them feel happy about everything is something which is very, very important. Whatever disputes happened recently as well, was it pay disputes or whatever? I don't know what happens there, but in terms of talent, definitely, Russ, there is lots and more to work with.
Yeah, going forward, we of course for change, which will certainly happen. As I mentioned, your Murali Anna very busy with the other players in trying to get these plans. They're working together with SLC. So even in a lot of things, it's about looking forward in that aspect. Azam, you have a question to fire? Before
Yes,
I ask Murali, think Sri Lanka needs to do to beat this Indian team today? We need a win.
Yeah, just one question. There is this thinking among the Sri Lankan selectors that you should have a long-term thinking when it comes to one-day cricket and T20 cricket. So they kind of, in a way, dropped Angelo Matthews and several other senior cricketers from the ODI team. And even, after that, there was some disputes as well on pay. But the main thinking at that time was like, we need to look at youngsters. So that's one reason that there was all this dispute started when these guys were dropped. So what's your thinking on these seniors putting them out and going with the new young team?
Look, I don't think that should happen, because at the end of the day, seniors are the ones who carry the team. Youngsters provide all the energy, but the seniors bring all the experience, and winning those big moments, you need some of the seniors who are still capable of playing. In our own families, the heads of the family are the ones with the wise heads, isn't it? We might have the energy as youth, but they are the ones with the wise head. You don't throw them out, do we? Just because they are beyond a certain age. And I feel in terms of Sri Lankan cricket, you need them, because if Sri Lanka has to go forward, you can't just have a brand new team which is not ripe yet. Losses harden you, but constant blows on your face, they don't make you much stronger. You still need to win the odd game, and also need those wise heads to help you. And but again, that is subject to if those wise heads and the experienced players are still performing. And I definitely feel that if they are performing, then they should be part of it till the time you feel that there are others to come in and others to replace them. That is just very simply, MS Dhoni could still have been the best player because of the fact that he was such a great player. And for him, because he gave up the other games, and because of the fact that Rishabh Pant was coming in, they blooded him slowly. They didn't blood him immediately and removed MS Dhoni. So I'm just saying that, I'm just giving you a simple example. Possibly this example might not be right, but you can't just throw away your good players just because you want to get fresh legs in. Fresh legs are available even in a hospital. So you don't bring everybody from a hospital and make them play, isn't it? You need to see who's fit and who's ripe enough to come in, because international cricket makes you better. But it doesn't mean that you come in so raw that you're constantly knocked down, and doesn't help Sri Lankan cricket going forwards.
Yeah, lots of depth needs to be created because of the way things are, quarantines. We can see injuries coming in. I guess that's also at the back of their minds in trying to see what more we have. But I'm sure the seniors are not written off. That's my understanding. they will integrate and look to get a more balanced team as we go on. So hopefully things fall in place. I'm sure results also help. We mentioned changes and being mentioned, which is a fact, but that also comes with not having the results that you like to read. I mean, we are ranked 8 and 9 in almost all formats. The moment players do start performing consistently, there's something that has to come from inside as well. Then I guess everyone's jobs becomes a little easier. Karthik, what does Sri Lanka need to do to get over the line? The other day we saw them compete for long periods and suddenly the innings fell away. Is it a case of are they becoming too negative in the middle overs, trying to be a little conservative, or what do you think the change has to be to dominate and keep going forward?
I think in trying to dominate, they've made some silly mistakes every now and then, Russell. If you look at the games, all of them have had starts in terms of batting, and then they've frittered it. They've given it away to the Indians. Yeah, you need to be positive because to beat a strong side like India, you need to make them feel as well. I suppose Sri Lankans need to play with the attitude there is nothing to lose. If they play with that kind of an attitude, maybe they overcome and they make better decisions, because sometimes a cornered tiger is much more ferocious than a tiger which is out on the run. So just play. What is to lose? What can you lose here? Nothing to lose. If people are going to say that we were not favorites anyways. So if you go in with that kind of an attitude, maybe they do surprise themselves because they made some mistakes. It's about winning those small moments. It's not about winning the big moments alone. It's about winning those small moments. And they've made quite a few mistakes during those small moments. And I feel that's what they need to correct. And that happens with experience. Look, by getting everybody fresh, that is again an answer to what Azan asked me. Because you rightly said 8th and 9th. You're not going to help your cause by being 8th and 9th. You have to imagine a country like Sri Lanka having to qualify for World Cup or other things. It's not good. So it's important that you win those small moments, let alone the big moments.
Our friend has finished his gym session and he's back. Your friend Karthik. Where is he? Yeah.
Has he been listening to us or what's happening there?
Where is he? Go with gym session.
Chilling with Russell.
Hey guys, I'm not right. I need a lot of time.
You put water on your face or what?
Toda. Konjam tanni.
Okay.
So Maha, in that little bit, did you get any more gossip about today's game? What do we have?
I got the Hawkeye guys here in the gym with me. Hawkeye guys say the same thing what we just spoke as well. They were just waiting till.
You're still in the gym?
The Hawkeye guys are, and as well as me.
Oh wow, man!
Talking about
the most hardworking
Karthik,
cricketer.
I've asked them to do an analysis on Chahal, Yuzvendra Chahal, and all the other spinners, because he's been the difference kind of. Whenever he tosses the ball up and bowls slower, I get the impression the ball's dipping a lot more and falling shorter. But moment the other spinners go up in the air, it's a lot fuller. I just have the feeling Chahal is in a great spot compared to the others at that stage. Have you noticed anything where the spinners are concerned? I mean, spinners of India and Sri Lanka as well.
You're asking me or Rufi?
No, I'm asking you because you're a spinner. Maha can check with the Hawk boys if they've got it and what I'm thinking is right or wrong.
Yeah, I'd also ask them about a comparison of Chahar and Chahal, because Chahar is much quicker through the air. He gets the ball to drop quicker with that quickish action. And Chahal, as you rightly said, he's got a beautiful action for a leg spinner. And the way he drives through, the hip drives through. Obviously, a lot of control, Russ. And he's a conventional leg spinner. It's just that he has not played too much of 4-day cricket, and some of them have attributed to not being strong enough after the first 4 overs. So many people have had this criticism that he's good for 4 overs, he's good for 10 overs, but he doesn't have the strength to bowl long spells. But in those 4 and 10 overs, he's very good. His action is solid, his action stays strong, and that's one of the reasons why he's able to do all the things which you mentioned just before.
What is outstanding about Wanindu Hasaranga though? Because if you look at his action, it's not a proper action from a coach's point of view, right? He drops.
Yeah. And also he bowls beyond the perpendicular, isn't it? So from there, for you to get the ball to spin is never going to happen. You might spin it a little bit, but leg spinners generally are slightly round arm, and that's where they bring all the spin in. Manindu is here, and also as you said, his front arm drops early, his front leg buckles a little bit. So he's very good. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's like a bit like Graham Swan. Graham Swan was not the conventional off spinners action. Graham Swan's front arm fell very early. His again front leg collapsed as well, but he was in control of his own action. He owned his own action. So it's not about sometimes doing the right thing. Yes, if it's not working for you, obviously you're trying to work on your basics. But if it's working for you, then you need to own it. It's not about changing it. You can't suddenly make an artist into a mechanic. So it's very important that you own your stuff, whatever it is, whatever works for you. You need to know that and make it work for you.
He's of course been very effective, and I'm pretty sure your boys at the IPL will take note, because looking at leg spinners going around, this guy is having an impact, and I think he deserves a good look in as well. Azam, before I let you go, one final question if you have for Karthik, because it's time to kind of wrap up as well.
One final question is like, if you look at the Sri Lankan team, current team, if you can, know that Shamir, the bowling department, in the batting department, from the current lineup, who do we should invest more?
I think Avishka Fernando looks very good. I don't know what's the scenario with those three boys who were suspended. Do they come back? What is the verdict on the public verdict as well as the board's verdict on it? Because again, you hear lots of things, so it's very important that going forwards, for the sake of the team, because you can't set a precedent. You can't seem to be setting a precedent that there is a leeway given to a certain boy and a leeway not given to a certain boy. So it has to be standardized so that everybody knows that you don't mess with rules. These are things which, as teams, it's very, very important. So again, obviously, them three, again, very good players. I don't know what's the case with them. But you look at the others, as I said, Dhananjay De Silva is an outstanding player. I don't know whether there's still a place for somebody like a Chandimal or Angelo Matthews in white ball cricket, because again, I used to be a big fan of Chandimal when he was playing well. I always thought that he was a good player of spin, batted well, knew how to take singles, which is a great art in the middle overs. It's not just about trying, and that is one thing which the Sri Lankans haven't done as well. They've been getting into a rut where for 3 or 4 balls they're not able to work singles, and that comes with experience and skill. So batting, I feel there is a lot of talent. There are lots of good players. Again, I mentioned Asalanka looked superb. I thought he batted so beautifully. Rajapaksha looks like a very powerful player. Obviously, they've been asking him to eat lesser chocolates like Russell, but um, so again, as I said, the talent is there. It's oozing, but it's just that you have to mold that talent as well. You have to help that talent so that they make themselves to be better players. How do I word it? They give themselves the best chance to be the best players they can be. And I feel that the environment and how you're made to feel around that environment is very, very important for a flower also to bloom. So I feel it is there. And again, I don't know. I've not gone into the nitty-gritty of Sri Lankan cricket in terms of who are the players in first-class cricket. But from whatever we have seen in these stores of England, and again now in the last 10 days, there is enough and more. And again, as I mentioned, you can't dilute a playing system. You can't dilute the first-class system, which doesn't throw up good quality players. You have to make it very competitive.
Thank you.
Thanks, Azam.
Thank
you, Maha. Final thoughts. Today's game. What do you think, Maha and Karthik?
Final thought. Let's wait till. I think one thing's for sure. One of 2 players of Sri Lanka is going to miss. I think Sajid Asalanka is ruled out, as well as another batsman who's in the reserves, Pathum Nissanka, has been hit in the arm while practicing in the nets. So he's out. So lack of batting for sure. Not much of options when it comes to batsman. So it's interesting to see what sort of a combination is going to come up. There are only a couple of other batsmen in the in the reserves, so whether they're going to get a debut or what. And I reckon the bowling attack would remain the same. From the batting, it will be a forced change with Charit being injured. That's what I gather.
Yeah, and I don't think Bhanuka Rajapaksa is
He's out of the series. Yeah,
going to
he's out of the series. Yeah.
play either. So that causes a big problem. But if Sri Lanka are to compete, push India, Avishka Fernando will need to play a blinder. It will come down to that in terms of batting. Yes. Karthik, your thoughts, final thoughts, and thank you guys for being on and
cheers, Russ. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
No, I've given enough and more thoughts. My final thoughts are, let's have a good game. Hopefully everybody is fine and we have a game today and tomorrow. And hopefully Sri Lanka competes stronger. Because I definitely felt that 164 was below par from India. And I definitely thought Sri Lanka was in with the chance when they were neck to neck or were running neck and neck in the power play. Especially I thought that they're going to capitalize on it, which didn't happen. So hopefully today is a much more evenly contested game.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's where we are at. A lot of uncertainties. We're going to have to wait and see who's actually going to be available to play and how things go. Now, that also it's a challenge to us. We're also wondering what's going to happen. In the same way, the players will also feel that, but they'll have to be switched on and be ready to do whatever they can. Yeah. It's a lot more of a challenge there for us. We can say anything and we can correct ourselves. We can even average 200 in the commentary box, right? But out there, correct, it's a different story. It's a very different story. And you also have to feel for the players.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Karthik. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Russ.
See you for lunch and hopefully at the game. Enjoyed having you, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Russ. Thanks for having me.
Friends, before I leave you, thank God for that Dialogue View app, because in times of uncertainty, that's what keeps me entertained. Well, hopefully the cricket entertains us today and it'll give Sri Lankan fans something more to look forward to. But one thing's for sure, when the series started to now, we might not have the series wins or the wins that we did want, but we do see a few shining lights, a few more names that we can use and take our cricket forward. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. See you this evening, guys, from the Combox at the R. Premadasa. Thank you.
Cheers.
Chilling with Russell.
Receive money from anywhere in the world. Western Union now available at Ceylon Bank.